from Nebraska's trusted news source. This is Channel 8 News at 6.
Coming up tonight, zoo zoning. The city of Grand Island taking up some issues with Pete's Safari. Well, both sides want to gain out of their disagreement. Also tonight, Governor Jim Pillen is protecting against human trafficking at the College World Series in Omaha. How he plans to ensure everyone's safety. And screwworm spreading. More confirmed cases of the flesh-eating parasite are being found. What steps people are taking now that it's spreading beyond cattle. And that's where we begin tonight with new developments as officials track the spread of screwworm infestations. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Rod Fowler. A battle is brewing in Texas as authorities race to reel in the parasite, but they're already reporting new cases along the border. Channel 8's Mackenzie Johnson joins us now with what we know tonight. Mackenzie.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture releasing a dashboard and website where they're tracking the new world screwworm cases. Now, this map here showing the first 2 detections in Texas calves. But just this afternoon, officials say the number has now climbed to 5 confirmed cases, and it's no longer only contained to cattle. There are now 3 calves in Texas with those confirmed cases, along with a goat and a dog in New Mexico. The parasitic fly burrows into animals and feeds on their flesh. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins joining officials in Texas today, outlining what they're doing to stop even more animals from getting infested. She says this is something they know how to fight.
We have been prepared and preparing since early last year for the reemergence in America. This project already was on warp speed, but now it has been put at literally the very top priority for the Department of War and the Army Corps of Engineers.
Researchers and teams have already started releasing millions of sterile flies in the areas where there are confirmed cases, and Rollins says they are working quickly to produce even more. They're reassuring everyone, though, that this screwworm does not impact food, and it's not something you need to worry about when buying groceries. Tonight at 10, we'll talk more about the timeline for when they're hoping to have the screwworm eradicated here in the U.S. Reporting in the studio, Mackenzie Johnson, Channel 8 News.
All right, thank you, Mackenzie. Senator Ricketts meeting with Nebraska cattlemen to talk about the new world screwworm mitigation efforts. He says the USDA is leading the fight with funding from the Senate. He goes on to say Nebraska is the beef state, and he says he'll never stop fighting for our farmers and ranchers. Let's get you updated on some severe weather cropping up in some parts of Nebraska. This is what things look like near downtown Lincoln right now, though. You're taking a live look from our Allo Cam. The sun still shining through. Some very thin clouds right there in some spots. I know some severe weather is happening southwest of the capital city. Let's check in with Dominic Ferraro to see what's going on right there on your radar, buddy.
Hey, good evening, Rod. As the printer probably is yelling at me here that we got another severe thunderstorm warning to take a look at. So let's go ahead and zoom into southeastern Nebraska. Oh, pleasantly surprised. Actually, not for once, but we do have at least keeping track then of a complex of showers and thunderstorms for south central and southeastern Nebraska. This just informing me that the Storm Prediction Center is keeping an eye then on this cluster of storms. Most of the warnings, though, in north central Kansas, as those storms have really fired up within the last hour or so. And Furnace County, they're still feeling the impacts of some of those stronger storms. Got close to 4 inches of rain as that cell moved on through. In terms of watches going forward, south central and southwestern Nebraska still under a tornado watch until 10 p.m. tonight, and then a severe thunderstorm watch in place for the Panhandle until 9 p.m. Mountain Time this evening. As you can kind of take a look at where we expect these storms to track off to, mainly to the south and east. We do have that enhanced level 3 out of 5 risk in place there in orange. Lincoln right on the line there between a slight and slight and marginal risk. That means scattered to isolated storms possible as that line tries to work its way then off to the east as we head through the overnight hours. Looking off then to the east of the capital city, ABC Seamless camera, lots of blue skies there at North 48th and Cornhusker Highway. Also prepping then for a hot and humid day tomorrow. We have a heat advisory will go into place from 1 to 9 p.m. on Tuesday, where we could see heat index values above 100 degrees in eastern Nebraska. So lots to keep you up to date on. We'll have more info coming up here in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Dominic. Right now, a clash between the city of Grand Island and Pete's Safari is going public. Pete's Safari is a beloved zoo in the Grand Island region and wants to expand. It caught the attention of the city, leading it to allegedly find zoning and code compliance issues. Here's the post the city is releasing about the issue. It's not publicly stating what the issues are, just that they fall into the category categories of zoning and code compliance. They're adding that their goal is not to close the business, rather to ensure public safety and make sure they're consistent in how they treat businesses. In response, Pete's Safari is starting a petition to preserve their attraction. It already has more than 5,500 signatures. They're arguing they're already regulated by the USDA and undergo federal inspections, ensuring the safety of their guests. They add that they're searching for collaboration with the city to come to a compromise. Well, fighting between Iran and Israel has stopped as of now. It's following a major escalation over the last 48 hours. And this has happened despite pleas from President Trump that both sides stop shooting. Here's an example of a flurry of strikes between Israel and Iran. The two sides say they are going to be hitting the pause button right now, but that agreement coming with a warning, each side saying they will retaliate if fired upon. It all comes as the Strait of Hormuz remains closed, and it's not clear if the U.S. and Iran have worked out any of the complicated issue of getting Iran's highly enriched uranium.
There's still a lot of issues that have to be resolved, and first and foremost is control of the Strait of Hormuz and unlocking the blockade on both sides.
Now, despite the strikes in the region, President Trump insists the U.S. and Iran are in the final stage of negotiations, and the two sides are, quote, very close to securing a deal. Meanwhile, prices seem to be cooling down a bit around Lincoln. Some of our citizen journalists showing us the gas price of around $3.99 at some stations around town. Both videos sent into our Now Local News app by Kevin and Brian. Those prices are a little lower than the average in Gas Buddy's latest report, which was out today, which is $4.10 a gallon here in Lincoln. The average in Nebraska right now is $3.97. U.S. stocks rebounding today after Friday's very bruising session. Tech stocks leading the way with a broad bounce back. NASDAQ up more than 200 points. The Dow hovered near the flat line, and the S&P 500 up just a little bit as investors continue looking into the possibility of seeing an interest rate hike later this year. New tonight, state officials working to protect the community during the College World Series. Governor Pillen and law enforcement joining forces to keep human traffickers away during the major sporting event, which is kicking off this week in Omaha. Officials saying predators often take advantage of such events to prey on vulnerable people in the community, and they want to prevent that from happening. Officials asking everyone to know the warning signs and keep an eye out for one another.
You see people who might have medical conditions that haven't been treated. You see tattoos indicative of ownership by someone, facial tattoos, things like that. You see someone who always has someone else answering for them. They're with someone who maybe doesn't quite fit their age or family profile, but is always answering for them. You see someone who has numerous hotel keys, technology or outfits that don't quite fit the situation.
Officials say law enforcement will be out all throughout the event, and they're asking the community, please work with them to keep everyone safe. But don't go anywhere. We have more heading your way after the break, including doubling up. Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach, seeing some massive increases in visitors, what they're attributing the growth to. We're back in just 1 minute.
Green's Furnace and Plumbing has been serving the Lincoln community as a locally owned business for over 100 years. Stop by our showroom to find the latest deals on Lennox furnace and air conditioner replacements. Our licensed technicians will provide the comfort your home deserves.
Need mulch and someone to install it for you? Try Yankee Hill Landscape. Need river rock or delivery of dirt? Try Yankee Hill Landscape. Yankee Hill Landscape. Competitive prices. Great service. Located at 118th and Yankee Hill Road.
Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Menards.
Get an 11% rebate on all your outdoor projects at Menards. We're your destination for concrete landscaping block. Whether you're building a patio, retaining wall, or decorative accents, we have what you need to get the job done. Check out our huge selection of no-cut block projects. The perfect solution for quick and easy landscaping. These tumbled Belgian wall blocks are on sale now. Plus, get an 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
New tonight, a traffic stop leading to the seizure of 30 pounds of cocaine. A black Nissan was stopped just south of Waverly, a canine helping deputies find all of that cocaine and 2 suitcases located in the trunk of the vehicle. Here are the bricks they uncovered, piled up on the cruiser's hood. Deputies say on the street, this amount of cocaine would be worth about $2 million. Kanwal Singh of California was arrested accused of possession with intent to sell. Officials today saying where they think he intended to take all of that cocaine.
We do know in talking with him that he was going from New York, to California. And he did state that he did not know what was in the suitcases.
And Houchin says this was unique about the case is that they usually find the drugs going east and the money coming west. And in this case, it was the opposite of that. New at 6, Matt Talbot Kitchen and Outreach is releasing some big numbers. Their on-site meals have increased by 10% this year, and they've seen double the visits to their Fresh Choice Pantry compared to last year. They say their volunteers and the support of the community are allowing them to keep all of their doors open for people facing food insecurity.
Heat and humidity make headlines in the forecast. In addition to our chances for showers and thunderstorms over the next several days, I'll make sure that you're up to date on your latest forecast coming up after the break.
Is putting public safety front and center of her proposed budget. Mayor Larry and Gaylor Baird today unveiling what she wants in her budget for 2026 through 2028. Now, it calls for a $14 million increase from this year's budget to go up to $316 million. The plan keeps the city's property tax rate unchanged. Now, some of the areas in focus are health and safety, also infrastructure and economic opportunity. Channel 8's Emma Norwood is breaking down the budget and what it means for taxpayers.
Keep Lincoln safe, strong, and growing. That's the focal point for Mayor Leary and Gaylor Baird's proposed 2026 through 2028 budget.
Lincoln residents count on excellent city services that make life better today, and this budget will do that and position our community for an even more prosperous future.
The mayor's proposed budget totals more than $316 million in tax-funded spending during the first year, and then more than $334 million in the second. These two graphs showing where that money will come from, broken down between sales taxes, property taxes, and other revenues. But at the forefront of it all, public safety.
This proposed budget continues solid investment in public safety that looks like adding police officers, adding firefighters and paramedics and EMTs, adding another ambulance medic unit, and continuing to make sure that we have partnerships that also promote the safety no matter what kind of emergency need our community members have.
The budget also directs funding toward Lincoln's infrastructure, including roads, sidewalks, water, affordable housing, and community partnerships. This graph showing how much funding each of those focuses would receive. Through projects like Central Library, Project O Street, Canopy Yard, and the Multi-Model Transportation Center, Mayor Gaylor Baird says her emphasis on improving quality of life is made possible.
I'm so proud that we are continuing on our foundation of success with this budget as we grow an even safer, stronger, more successful, growing community. We've got a lot of things to be excited about in Lincoln. We're making some major civic investments that will grow quality of life and economic opportunity for our community members for generations to come.
There will be a public hearing on the mayor's budget on August 3rd before City Council votes to approve it on August 24th. The new budget starts September 1st. Reporting in Lincoln, Emma Norwood, Channel 8 News.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Dominic Ferraro.
Well, we're continuing to keep an eye on a strong cluster of showers and thunderstorms in south central Nebraska, trying to move its way here off to the east. The stronger storms at the moment in north central Kansas, but certainly has already made an impact in south central and southwestern Nebraska with up to 4 inches of rain falling there in Furnace County. That's that light green color there. We have a flash flood warning still in place for them as they saw significant rain out of these storms, and they're trying to then continue to move their way here off to the east. But as we pull things back over more of a central view across the state, starting to see a few more storms then off the Rockies. We'll see how far those can push east as we go through the rest of the overnight hours as well. But taking a look here in the capital city, looking off to the north on your Barry Law camera, lots of blue skies out there, maybe a few fair weather clouds, but for the moment, temperatures here definitely on the warm side. Lots of sunshine here for any of your Monday evening plans. Upper 80s here in both Lincoln, Beatrice, the mid 80s as you head then out towards the Tri-Cities, and 82 degrees there in Kearney, but certainly humid for most of us as well. Dew points range from the low 60s to the low 70s here in the capital city. So if you are heading out, just be ready for the humidity to certainly make things feel just a little heavier out there going forward. We've held off those chances for showers and thunderstorms for the moment. Maybe a few lighter showers here starting to work their way finally to Grand Island and then down towards Hastings, with the bulk of those storm chances then right along the Kansas-Nebraska line. And we're going to continue to keep an eye then on the situation as it evolves for the next couple of hours. Stormcast kind of intended these to be a little bit stronger so far, but that doesn't mean we can't get there over the next couple of hours too. Most of this activity tonight either along or south of Interstate 80. One thing we'll have to keep an eye on too, this second line of storms out here. How far east can that make it, and how much energy does this initial line of storms then take out of the atmosphere? So both of these, we're going to keep an eye on them. This first line would likely move through then within the next couple of hours, and then if that second line does hold together, that'd be closer then to 2, 3, even 4 o'clock in the morning for us in southeastern Nebraska. So we'll have multiple ways to receive severe weather alerts if we start to see that second line put together. I'll be interested to see what the evening models do with that one. Other than that, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy then for the start of your Tuesday, with another round of strong to severe storms then as we head towards your Tuesday afternoon and into the evening. Starting out first in central and western Nebraska. Now there's going to be lots of storm fuel out there. We call that instability. Lots of instability across the state. It's whether or not we can break through the cap in the atmosphere. Almost like think of it as a lid. If we can break through that lid, then we start to see those storms pop up. And if we do, then they're going to try and move their way off to the east. Whether or not they can hang around then long enough for us to see any in southeastern and eastern Nebraska is kind of the really big question mark with tomorrow's forecast. But if we do, certainly has the potential to be on the strong to severe side as well, with scattered showers to follow then for your Wednesday morning. Here's a look then at that severe weather potential for Monday evening. Again, the best chance at severe weather, certainly south central Nebraska. Can't rule out a scattered to then isolated severe storm for us here in far southeastern Nebraska. Moving ahead to Tuesday, scattered severe storms, once again a possibility across the state here. here in this yellow shaded region. That does include us here in Lincoln, Beatrice, Grand Island, and all severe weather hazards on the table there, but certainly more of a damaging wind and hail threat as it works its way out to the east. So they can't rule out a tornado or two. And then an isolated severe storm or two remains in the forecast as we head through your Wednesday afternoon. So a busy couple days coming up here. And that hasn't even mentioned then the heat and humidity coming up over the next couple days too. High temperatures in the mid-90s, heat index values, especially tomorrow, in the triple digits, if not closer than to 105. But the heat doesn't stick around, thankfully, for too long. We're back into the middle 80s by Thursday and Friday, and even eyeing then the upper 70s as we head towards the start of next week.
All right. Thank you so much, Dominic. We're heading into the Sports Zone next. Nate, what's going on tonight?
Yeah, well, we're going to be talking about one Husker freshman who has been phenomenal all season, was named to his second-team freshman All-American list. I'm sure you can guess who from this year's baseball team. We'll be right back.
From the Channel 8 Sports Zone, sponsored by Greens Furnace and Plumbing, here's Channel 8 News Sports with Sports Director Nate Johnson. The Channel 8 News Sports Zone.
Welcome back into the Sports Zone. Hope everyone had a great weekend. We start today with some Husker baseball. Drew Grigo was named the second-team all-freshman All-American. The National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association releasing the selections today. Grigo becomes the third freshman All-American under head coach Will Bolt. Now, the Nebraska native earning Big Ten Freshman of the Year honors and became the sixth player in program history to be named Conference Freshman of the Year. Grigo batted .326 with 13 doubles, a triple, 7 home runs, 44 RBIs, and 33 runs scored. A big congrats to Grigo on the award. Now, the College World Series officially has its final 8 teams, and the action starts Friday from Omaha with West Virginia and Troy matching up at 1 p.m. on ESPN. Following that game, North Carolina and Ole Miss will play at 6 p.m. on ESPN. And then Saturday, Oklahoma will play Alabama, followed by Georgia and Texas. Both games, of course, played on ESPN. And this year, there's going to be 5 SEC teams, but none of these year's squads made the tournament last year, making for some fun and new storylines to be made on the greatest show on dirt in Omaha starting this week. And hey, if you're going to be out in Omaha this week or at any point throughout the College World Series, we would love to see. Scan the QR code on your screen to download our Now Local News app, get behind-the-scenes access from our Channel 8 team, get paid for your submissions, and see your videos featured right here on Channel 8. We love for you to be a part of the action. Nebraska women's basketball found out its Big Ten home and away opponents for next season. It's pretty clear they will once again have a pretty tough conference slate, not to mention that Nebraska will play home and away against Iowa, the Hawkeyes, of course. Now, one of Nebraska's 7 Big Ten home opponents that earned NCAA tournament bids a year ago. The Huskers will also welcome Wisconsin and Penn State to town next season. And Nebraska's Big Ten road schedule will feature a trip to Los Angeles to face the defending national champions UCLA and a revamped USC squad that hopes to see their star Juju Watkins return to action. So here's a look at all of Nebraska's home and away foes for the 2026-2027 season. Big Red finished last season 19-13 and 7-11 in conference play. The Huskers are coming off its 3rd NCAA tournament appearance in the past 4 seasons. I'm excited to see how the first team All Big Ten point guard Britt Prince will look next year as she's entering her junior season already. And speaking of the women's basketball team, Nebraska hired new assistant coach today, Brad Fisher, who previously helped Wisconsin Oshkosh to back-to-back NCAA Division III Final Four appearances. He's joined the staff, and Amy Williams said in part of a statement, quote, "We are excited to add Brad Fisher to the Husker women's basketball family." Now, Matt Rule spoke today on Husker Radio about the Battle of the Boneyard 7-on-7 event, and also a special announcement that's coming that way. So here's Matt Rule on that.
We have people who love the Huskers and love competition. They'll come watch, and we're going to make a really special an announcement at that. So I think people are going to want to be there for that. But you know, you can bring your kids. You can come out. You can watch some of the best players in high school recruiting compete. You can sit in the stadium, get yourself ready for the fall.
Looking forward to that event on June 20th. It was such a fun time last year. Excited to see how that looks this season. Well, finally, tonight is Game 3 of the NBA Finals right here on KLKN TV. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. between the Knicks and Spurs. New York already has a 2-0 lead on San Antonio. Will look to continue their win streak tonight as they return home for a Game 3. And that will do it for sports tonight. Rob, will go ahead and send things back over to you.
Thank you, Nate. Let's get a quick check of the weather with Dom.
Yeah, Rod, still keeping an eye on those chances for strong to severe storms, mainly for south central Nebraska tonight. We may see a couple of those try and linger their way here into eastern Nebraska very late tonight into early Tuesday morning. Another chance then through the afternoon on Tuesday, but hot and humid for that forecast. High temperatures in the mid-90s. Heat index values almost 10 degrees warmer than that. Certainly a possibility, too. Still warm on Wednesday, then finally cooling back down there on your Thursday with high temperatures. A little more seasonable for this time of year into the mid-80s.
All right. Thank you, Dominic, and thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy your evening. We'll see you after tonight's NBA game.